5 on your side starts now with breaking news.
Good morning, everyone. We are following some breaking news. This is just outside of Florissant. Firefighters say a house exploded on Candlewick Club Drive right next to St. Angela Merici. This is off of Highway 67. We know that this is in an unincorporated part of North St. Louis County. We do understand that 4 people are hurt, one of them severely. The other 3 injuries are minor, but as you can see, this is video from someone's front door of that big black smoke plume. A lot of people live in this area. In fact, we know that this happened around 9:15 this morning. This is technically around New Halls and Lindbergh, but it appears to have happened, New Halls Ferry, excuse me, but this appears to have happened again near the Walmart just off of Lindbergh, kind of by Coldwater Creek. Now, again, one of our viewers from Jamestown says that, there was a loud boom in that Florissant area that shook homes, and this person lives near Jamestown there, but it sounded like a tree fell on the house but then shook the entire house. We do understand that that Walmart has also been evacuated. We have several crews headed to that scene right now. We will bring you the very latest as it comes in. That is on air on KSDK.com as well as on the 5+ app. We will be staying on this all morning long.
5 on your side starts now with breaking news. Side starts now with breaking news.
Good morning, everyone. The time now is 10:24. I'm Michelle Lee. We are following that breaking news just outside of Florissant. Firefighters are telling us that a house exploded on Candlewick Club Drive right next to St. Angela Merici off of North Highway 67. So this is the map here. This is an unincorporated part of North County. We do understand that 4 people are hurt, one of them severely, and the other 3 injuries are minor. Now take a look. This is a view from someone's front door. You can see that dark plume of smoke coming from that just that vantage point there. We know a lot of people live in this area. In fact, witnesses are texting us into our text line 314-425-5355. Let us know if you saw anything as well. We understand that this happened around 9:15 this morning around Newhalls Ferry and Lindbergh. This appears to have happened near the Walmart off of Lindbergh as well by Coldwater Creek. So you can see here, everyone has now been evacuated at that Walmart. We see the workers in their blue vests there waiting to get word on whether they can return back inside the store. Now again, this is an unincorporated part of the county, so it's not technically in Florissant, but it is very close to that area. And people that we have talked to, it looks like our crew might be getting an interview to someone as well. So I wonder if we can listen in here for a second, potentially.
Yes, my first name is Bishop Nitty, Bishopnitty, and I'm a representative of No More ODs and High-Speed Chases.
Got it. Tell us about being here today. Your niece works here, so tell us about why you came to Walmart. Or did you check on her? Tell us about that.
Absolutely. I was sitting at home in my man cave, and I heard a big loud explosion, like something crashed into my house.
What time was that, do you know? Or
That happened about over an hour ago, because I was brushing my teeth, and it just shook me to the core. I ran upstairs to, holler at my spouse and to check on her to see if she was all right, because it was that impactful.
Wow. So then from there, what did you do? Obviously, I know Walmart has evacuated. Tell us about why you came here.
Well, I came around her because my niece, she works the cash register in her, and when I heard the explosion, I came outside in my front. I seen a cloud of smoke just coming from everywhere, and then I got a text from her. She said that they was making them evacuate because they heard an explosion in the building. So it was my concern to check on her safety, make sure everything, she was okay and everything, and so that's why I'm here.
How's she doing? I know it didn't happen here, but I'm sure it's a relief to know that she's okay.
Yes, it is, because I've been dealing with a lot of losses and, in my family and everything, and so it's just a crucial time right now. We all have to appreciate today and just be thankful that we all still breathing, and pray for the people that have been impacted by this explosion.
Anything else?
No, I just want to say no more ODs and high speeds, and say hell no to fentanyl.
Love the tagline. Thank you so much. I'm going to grab the mic from you, and that's all we needed. Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate you. And
All right, so we were just listening in to Justina Cornell trying to talk to witnesses to see what happened in this explosion. So this is something that she's doing to gather information from folks. That was Bishop Nitty, who represents a group called No More ODs, but he said that he was sitting at home about an hour ago, so we're talking roughly 9:30 here, when he heard a big loud explosion, and he was telling our team that he was brushing his teeth when that noise and that explosion shook him to the core. And that is what we're hearing from a lot of our viewers from that area. One of our viewers from Jamestown says there was, again, that loud boom in the area that shook a lot of homes. So you can see the dark plume of smoke there. A lot of witnesses are telling us that it sounded like maybe a tree fell on the house, something like that, but then shook the entire neighborhood and lots of homes. So again, we are understanding, and this is another live look from Walmart, that Walmart has been evacuated. You can see all of those blue vests out in the parking lot, people waiting on whether they can go back inside the store. And when we heard from Bishop Nitty, one of the witnesses who said that he was shaken to the core, he went to the Walmart to check on his niece who is working there. So we do have several people on the scene. We're trying to bring you the latest information. We also understand that the Blackjack Fire Department now says that 5 homes were damaged in that. So it's not just the one home, that 5 homes were actually damaged from that explosion. So if you are just tuning in at 10:28, let me recap some of this for you. Around 9:15, we understand that there was a house explosion. This is again in the unincorporated part of North County. This is around Newhalls Ferry and Lindbergh, just behind the Walmart. We've been looking at Ring cameras, getting a lot of texts from our viewers saying that they heard, first of all, a loud boom. And then when that boom happened, it shook their entire homes. We heard from one person who said it shook them to the core, actually. So again, not technically in Florissant, but very close to it in the unincorporated part by Coldwater Creek. And Blackjack Fire Department, the latest information that we're getting there is that 5 homes are damaged. We're going to be checking in. We will be back. Of course, you can always go online, ksdk.com. You can stay right here on the 5+ app. And if it is also urgent, we will cut in on air on broadcast. We're back after this.
5 on your side starts now with breaking news.
Good morning, everyone. We are following some breaking news just outside of Florissant. Firefighters are telling us that a house exploded on Candlewick Club Drive right next to St. Angela Merici. This is off Highway 67. This is a neighborhood, and a lot of people are telling us that they heard their own homes and felt their own homes shake after a very loud explosion. Let's get to Megan Kernan, who is live in the neighborhood for us. Megan, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Michelle, we just got here probably less than 5 minutes ago. So I just want to point out right behind me, it happens, you can see this thick smoke that is right over here. And this is the house that crews are responding to. We do know, as Michelle said, a house exploded around 9:15. There's 4 total injuries. 1 person is severely injured and the other 3 people have minor injuries. As soon as we pulled up, we saw multiple fire trucks and cars that are here on scene. There's dozens of fire trucks, ambulance pulling off as soon as we arrived. And I talked to one woman just a minute ago who said that she was laying in her bed and she heard a loud boom and all of her windows shattered inside. Now, I do want to get to a woman, Noonie, who actually heard the explosion. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, I did. It shook my whole house. My ceiling fan flew down, and I ran out just to see what was going on. I actually thought my garage door fell, I ain't gonna lie. But I came down, I just seen a lot of smoke. I seen a lot of people coming out, and I was just like, the whole community just devastated. They got the whole Lindbergh blocked off, so nobody can actually get in, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
I mean, this happened in the morning, right? So what was your reaction? I mean, what did it sound like? Did it sound like a loud boom?
Man, it was like, yes, a really loud boom. Like, I thought something really, really happened in my house. Like, it was that close, but it really wasn't. Like, I'm like in the far end on the community, you know, of the apartments or whatever, but this is like in a house, so I had to run through a couple of houses to get to it. But yes, thankfully no one's hurt. Well, actually one person probably is hurt, but and a cat.
There's 1 person that's severely injured and 3 others that have minor injuries.
Yes.
What have you been hearing from your neighbors as you guys have been out here this morning?
They say maybe a possible gas leak or somebody was probably practicing some math. But other than that, yeah, so it's probably gas leak though.
Okay.
What
I mean,
did you see when you got on the scene?
yeah.
Oh, when I got on the scene, I seen big smoke. I seen fire. Actually, I seen the other house catching on fire because of the wind. So I seen all 3 houses burn at the same time.
I mean, we can see it right now. I mean, the thick smoke. It's as soon as
It
we
was thicker
pulled
than
up.
that. It was thicker than that. It's covered the whole community. It was thicker than that.
I mean, how, scary is this for your neighborhood, for your community?
Very scary because, you got a lot of older people that lives over here. So I was worried about them, really, because, there's a lot of people that's in wheelchairs, canes and all that. So I just wanted to make sure they were okay. But yeah, it's very devastating because people lost their houses. Like, nothing really happens over here from what I've heard. I've only been over here for like maybe 3 or 4 years, but it's been people that's here for 20, 15 years. And yeah, they said nothing really happens over here. So this is really big over here.
Oh my goodness. Now let's give people kind of the proximity. So this happened over here, and where do you live? You live at the end of the neighborhood?
Yeah, I'm actually in the beginning, like the first entrance. So I'm in the condos in the front. So just think about that. I'm in the condos in the front, and they're like sort of kind of by the lake towards the back. So the ground shook from here to there. So that's like a good maybe 5 miles. So it's really, big.
And what did it feel like?
Earthquake. We don't even have earthquakes here, but it felt like an earthquake. Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Thank you so much, Noonie.
Thank you.
We
Comedian Noonie LaRue, see me.
appreciate you. I mean, this is kind of what we've been hearing, as I just mentioned to you, Michelle, before. Woman told me that she was laying in her bed and all of her windows shattered, and she heard this loud boom. And we're just trying to learn more information. We do know there's multiple fire crews out here, dozens of firefighters. We did see an ambulance come off, and we do know 1 person has been severely injured in this explosion. Michelle.
Quick, Blackjack Fire is telling us at least 5 homes are damaged. Are you able to see those other homes and maybe what kind of damage they've received?
No, so we actually cannot see the house that exploded. You can see we're kind of blocked off here. Right now where we're at is the media staging area. So we're trying to learn more information. We're talking to St. Louis County Police, who said that they're gonna give us an update hopefully soon. But this is kind of where they blocked us off, right? They need to let their fire crews do the work, and you can kind of see there's more smoke coming up in between these trees here. And so that's kind of where we're looking at where it happened. But you did, hear this one woman, she did say after it exploded, it kind of she heard that it caught other houses on fire. So we're trying to learn more information, but right now we're just pushed back. We can't really actually see the homes just yet.
Of course, you know, she mentioned, you know, a potential gas explosion. Of course, when we see something that massive, it does beg the question. Have you been able to see any Spire folks or any utility crews out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a Spire crew right over here. I think I saw at least 4 Spire cars out here, and as soon as we pulled up, actually the street here is flooded with water. You know, on one side of the street you can't even drive over that part. So we're trying to learn more, and here's a Spire worker actually walking over here now, just trying to get some more information on what actually happened, what caused this explosion. So we're working to get that information. As I told you before, this is where St. Louis County Police have the media staging area set up. We're kind of pushed back out from here, but we can still see the smoke. So I'm sure crews are still working here out in the scene.
Okay, so we do understand that at least a spokesperson is on the way to you from Spire. So if you can grab that person, I know there's a lot of chaos at that scene. Do you have any kind of perspective on how hard it was to get to that neighborhood? The witness you just talked to said that Lindbergh is shut off at a certain point, and it's been hard for people to get back into the neighborhood. Did you experience that, or have you seen that?
So the neighborhood is actually open. I mean, we did have to park off out of the street on Lindbergh is open, but there is some, the neighborhood is a little bit cut off, but we did have, you know, to walk a little bit a ways to get here, but Lindbergh is open. There was some traffic, you know, there's police out there directing the traffic, but like I said, whenever we pulled up into this neighborhood, when we were walking in, half of the street is flooded, so we don't, you know, really know what happened there, but we're just trying to talk to more individuals, trying to get some more information.
And when you say the street is flooded, is anyone out there working on that flood? Is it like a water main break? What do you think it looks like, Megan?
Yes, it does look like a water main break. We saw American Water out here, and somebody did say that there was a water main break out here. So, you know, again, just as the road, like I said, half of the road was flooded, and we were trying to walk around it. It took a little bit time to get here to the spot that we're at right now, but it does look like it was a water main break, Michelle.
And let me ask you one more question, and then I'll let you go because I know that you need to gather more information. But are you feeling like it is safe to be where you are? Are you getting word from any authorities who are saying, hey, this is okay to be in this neighborhood or at this staging area?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel completely safe. I don't think they would have set up the media staging area right here if it wasn't safe for us to be. I think this is probably the safest spot for us right now. As you can see, we're kind of pushed back out here from where it actually happened to see where the damage is. So hopefully, you know, we're all good, but this area is definitely safe. You can see there's a ton of officials behind me just working to figure out what happened here, Michelle.
Okay, thanks so much, Megan. I'm gonna let you go so that you can do your job on the scene. Please be safe, and we might come back to you in just a little bit, but thanks so much for all the work that you're doing out there. In the meantime, we want to talk about how big this scope is. You know, we just heard that parts of Lindbergh are cut off. We also know that the Walmart has been evacuated. So if you are just joining us, this happened like around 9:15 this morning. There was a loud explosion. Blackjack Fire are telling us that now 5 homes may have been damaged. At least 4 people we know have been injured as well. But again, lots of logistics happening in that neighborhood in unincorporated North County near Florissant. This is a live look at the Walmart there, and you can see all of the workers in blue there sitting or standing waiting to get word on if they can go back to work. We talked to one witness earlier. His name was Bishop Nitty, and he actually said, hey, I was brushing my teeth this morning. I heard this loud explosion. It shook me to my core, were his words. And then he ran to that Walmart to try to find his niece, who is a worker there. So we see the massive impact. But again, 9:15 around Newhalls Ferry and the Lindbergh area. This is right by Coldwater Creek. We are getting a lot of texts from our viewers who are telling us they heard this boom and felt this boom all across the region. We're talking about from Ladue to Jamestown to U City. We're hearing so much more. I do want to get to Paul Cook, who has been keeping an eye on the traffic impact here, because we heard Paul, that witness, say, okay, some people are not able to get back home to their neighborhood. Megan said she had a little trouble as well, but what are you seeing out there on the roads?
I'm not sure my microphone is working. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Michelle?
I can't hear you just yet. I know that you're powering up, trying to get information.
I'm gonna get some new batteries here.
Okay, so I know that, again, if you're just now joining us, we are talking about potential traffic issues. This is the traffic map here, and you can see a lot of red here from Cross Keys to Shoveltown. We're seeing just a lot of yellow and a lot of red. Paul is going to keep an eye on it. He's been telling us, yes, there are some slowdowns here. And Paul, are you ready to share that with us?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, we
okay,
can hear
yeah.
you.
This is very important because you heard a witness talk about not being able to get to her home or accurately even see the scene, and I know that's been with a lot of the media as well. But right here, this is where it is. Okay, so you can see Lindbergh and how tight the traffic is, and for safety's sake, you're not allowed to get in that area. I want to kind of show you a little bit. It's kind of interesting how close this is to Coldwater Creek. You can kind of see it here as I'm kind of circling nearby, how significant and how close this house is and all of that to this area. So I want you to see that. And then we can kind of give you a little bit of a location situation here. You see it right in the middle, north of 270, just to the east of Lindbergh, and it is nestled right in there. There's a big Walmart nearby, and overall the location, let me get you back over here. You can see that we are very much dealing with traffic right there. So they're asking, do not go nearby right now, just because of the emergency vehicles and potential debris here and there. But Lindbergh, just south of Lindbergh, is where this house explosion is, and we're going to continue to investigate and see exactly another route if you need to get home or around this if you're working in the area, Michelle.
Okay, thanks so much, Paul. We do have another vantage point that we want to share with people, because we are talking about this massive explosion that happened roughly around 9:15 this morning. If you are just tuning in at 10:47, this is a live look overhead, and this is with our drone shot. This is shot by our photojournalist, Kira. This is video, excuse me, but this is, you can see lots of smoke still coming from that house, and we saw that in Megan Kernan's live shot as well. But this house is demolished. Now you can also see right next door, the second house is also damaged as well. We are understanding from Blackjack Fire that 5 homes in that area have damage, and this obviously is the home that is no longer in existence. But we do know that 4 people have been hurt. Megan Kernan said 1 person is severely hurt. So just resetting here, firefighters say that this house exploded on Candlewood Club Drive. This is right near St. Angela Marisi off of North Highway 67. We're talking about Lindbergh here. This is unincorporated North St. Louis County, but the Florissant area. We also know that a lot of people live and work in this area. We've been talking to witnesses who've been texting into our text line, telling us that, again, this happened around 9:15. It appears to have happened near the Walmart off Lindbergh by Coldwater Creek. If you are familiar with that area, we've been bumping into live shots from that Walmart parking lot, where a lot of workers are evacuated, and they are waiting to hear if they can go back into the store. We are getting more information now. Let's go back out to Megan Kernan, who is live with authorities right now, and I believe has been talking to police. Megan, I know that you're on the scene. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. What have you learned?
Yes, Michelle, can you hear me? Yeah, so we were just talking to another person who heard this loud boom. We're about to wait. As you can see, we're told police are about to come over here and give us an update. Now, we have been out here for just a little bit and we've been waiting for police to get us an update. Obviously, they've been working to get more information, but I just talked to another woman after we got off here with you, and she said, okay. All right, thank you. That was police just coming over here to tell me that. In just a few minutes, they're going to come over here and brief us on what happened. So as I'll just explain what we heard from this interview. Until then, the woman that we were just talking to, she said she was in her house and all of a sudden, like we've been hearing this loud boom and all of her pictures just fall off of her walls. And she didn't know what happened. She also said that she is in the front of the neighborhood. So as I told you, Lindbergh is fine, but they are blocking off this neighborhood. So we, kind of parked on Lindbergh and walked here. And as I mentioned before, when we were walking here, we saw that there was some flooding in the street. One person was saying that they heard there was a water main break with this situation. So we're just trying to learn more information, but just from, all of the neighbors that are here in this area, we are just, a lot of people are scared and they're trying to figure out what happened. I do want to say, as we have, multiple crews out here, and one of our drone photographers, she did see that two houses that were damaged. So, whenever we were talking to live earlier, one of the women that we were chatting with, she said that she heard, it caught onto these other houses. And so we did just confirm that at least two houses have been damaged. We do know that one house exploded, here on Candlewood Club Drive, and 4 total people were injured. We know that 3 of them have some minor injuries, and then 1 is severely injured. So again, in 5 minutes, police just said that they're going to come over here and update us. And so, like I said, as we know, we at least know that 2 homes have been damaged here on Candlewood Club Drive. 1 house exploded. It happened around 9:15, and again, 4 total injuries. And you can see, as you can see the drone video that we're showing, I mean, the smoke is just huge, thick smoke right now. A ton of dozens of fire trucks, ambulance, fire crews are on scene. So we're just trying to work to learn more information, but we do know that 1 home has exploded. Michelle?
Megan, I know that there is a little delay between you and I because of the cell phones, and all of the cell phone technology that's being used out there. Can you talk a little bit about this water main break as well? Where is it? Can you see it from your vantage point where you are?
Right.
How bad is it and impacting the neighborhood?
Yeah, so no, I can't see it from where we are right now. It was in the beginning of the neighborhood, so closer to Lindbergh. As we were walking through, this half of the street was flooded. We don't know. We don't have anything confirmed. We were just talking to one guy. We know American Water is here, and one guy was saying that a water main break happened. So we really don't have any more information about that. But I think as far as I saw, it wasn't going on in the individual streets. It was just on the main Candlewood Club Drive that we saw. But from right here where we are right now, it isn't impacting any houses as far as we can see. It really was just in the street that we were walking around.
Okay, and just remind everyone who might be tuning in for the first time, witnesses told you that there was a loud boom, in some cases glass shattered in their homes, or maybe pictures fell off their walls. Some people are saying and speculating, hey, this might be a gas leak. And if we can get back out to Megan, I'm just wondering if you're seeing more Spire people on the scene, or if you are seeing more people responding from utilities.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We see a ton of, I mean, right now there's more fire crews than anything, but there are dozens of fire crews. You can see right now, my photographer is pointing to them as they're walking over here. So there are multiple fire crews. I mean, I've seen at least 5 fire cars out here. And yeah, Michelle, like you said, one woman was laying in her bed and she, you know, they're all hearing this loud, incredibly loud boom. And, you know, this woman said that her window shattered. Another woman told me that all of her pictures fell off. It was, and this was where we are. This was probably, I would say, maybe almost a mile, wouldn't you say, Joe, to the front of the neighborhood where they felt this. This is where the people that we were talking to, that is where they felt it. So this is in the front of the neighborhood. Right now, seems like we're kind of in the back here of the neighborhood. So, I mean, you know, we're hearing people hearing it all over this neighborhood, just trying to figure out what caused this house to explode.
Okay, thanks so much, Megan. We're going to let you do your work. I know that you said that someone from the police department or some authority will be able to talk to us in a few minutes. So I do want to kind of reset while you're trying to get that information.
Yes.
We just got some information from the force.
Michelle,
oh, go ahead.
Yep, they're actually.
Do you want to walk over there?
Sorry, I know there's kind of that delay here, but they're actually walking over here now. So we're gonna update you here, right here. The chief as well. So let me get out of the shot so I can hold up the mic for you. But if you just want to stay tuned, we're gonna get an update from St. Louis County Police.
Over here, Chief. That's good. That's good. Can I clip this on you, Chief?
You want me to hold that or what?
No.
So I'm gonna talk to you.
Oh. All right.
Just want to get back in the business.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah, we're
Yes.
good. Let's go. Hold on 1 second.
Brian, you good? Okay, thank you guys for coming. My name is Vera Clay, Acting Supervisor from the Public Information Office for St. Louis County Police Department. As you all know, about 9:13 this morning, we were called to a scene of a house explosion. The Blackjack Fire Protection District, along with many, many other of our fire protection districts, did respond here to the 13800 block of Evan Ayers Drive. It's a couple blocks down for a home explosion. At least 3 other homes were fully involved in this explosion, and there are multiple homes that sustained damage from this incident. At least 3 people were transported from the initial blast, but there are other injuries that have been reported, so we'll be able to maybe figure those numbers out later. Some people may be self-reporting, others were taken by ambulance, maybe shortness of breath, things like that. But right now, because this is a really, really active scene, there's not a whole lot we can tell. Not sure about what the cause of the explosion is, but there is just widespread damage, unfortunately, for a lot of these residents who live in Florissant as well as unincorporated St. Louis County in the city of Blackjack. So we do have a couple people here today. We have Chief Gregory who is here. We also have Chief Peebles from the Blackjack Fire Protection District who can answer some questions for you all. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, so you don't know how many injuries there have been total?
Initially, upon arrival on scene, we had 5 buildings that were on fire. There were 3 individuals transported from that scene that we do know of. It's ongoing, very fluid, so there could be more potential injuries. There were some secondary injuries, as she said, for shortness of breath, chest pain, but from the actual blast zone, there were 3 people.
How many injuries are serious? How many are severely injured?
At this time, we can't tell.
Do you have any information about the cause of the explosion yet?
That's under investigation. Bomb and arson is on scene. They will be performing their own investigation. They will update you as needed.
Is there a water main break that happened out here because of this?
No, we're not aware of any water main break at this time.
Any age range of the victims thus far?
None that we can tell you, sir, at this time.
How many departments responded to this place?
We went to 3 alarms, so multiple departments. So we have people from Ferguson, Berkeley, Northeast, Robertson, Florissant Valley, Metro, all over.
And you mentioned bomb and arson is on scene. Is that typical, or is that indicative that there might be something suspicious here?
That's typical. Anytime we have something of this nature, we're going to call in bomb and arson. That's typical.
They also evacuated the Walmart up the road. Is that your guys' decision, or did they?
That was not our decision, sir.
Are you guys investigating the gas leak?
We do have Spire on scene, and bomb and arson is working in conjunction with them, and we're working in conjunction with bomb and arson. So this is very fluid, still ongoing. Everything's still under investigation at this time.
What kind of safety measures would you give people for a gas leak in their building? What should you look for? What should you smell? What do you do if you smell something?
If you smell gas, you need to evacuate the building, number one. That's the first priority. Then make contact with the fire department and with the gas company. That would be the first thing, is to evacuate the building.
So right now it's kind of unclear how many total people have been injured?
At this time, it is unclear. Yes, ma'am.
Did anything initially look suspicious when crews started getting here that made you guys determine, okay, we need to get county police called in, or is that always protocol?
That's our normal protocol, and especially if you have something of this magnitude with this many buildings going at one time, we're going to always have fire and police. We're going to coordinate with them, and we're going to contact bomb and arson. That's normal.
How far from the initial explosion did the blaze spread? How many houses over?
It was 5 homes when we got on scene that were involved with fire.
So like 2 or 3 neighboring houses, I would say, like about a radius like that?
About like that.
Is that indicative of any kind of explosion? Does that lead you to believe that
Yes,
this is
that's
something
still
more than
under-
just gas?
It's still under investigation at this time. It's too early right now to make those determinations. We have to allow bomb and arson to do their job.
What do we know about the conditions of the 3+ people taken to the hospital?
We have not received an update at this time. We do have our EMS division that's working on that, so at this time we don't have an update.
Did you guys hear the explosion when you were at the firehouse?
I actually felt the explosion at the firehouse, yes.
What did it feel like?
It just felt like the building was shaking. I did not say they were all adults. Ages have not been determined.
The 3 that were injured, were they in the house or were they in neighboring houses?
That was hard to tell, sir. It was debris everywhere. We just got people out that we saw. Our men and our women are trained to take care of people. And so our number one priority when we're on a scene like this is to get them out of the scene and get them the proper treatment. So I can't tell you which house they were in. All I know is that we had 3 people that we had to evacuate immediately.
Is everyone accounted for at this hour?
At this time, to the best of our knowledge, yes.
All right. Anything else? Anything, you, Chief?
We appreciate the work that the fire department has done. Like you said, these types of incidents bring about our units out here at Bomb and Arson to do their investigation. They're working with them, and hopefully we can get this thing resolved.
All right. And when should we expect another update?
So we'll send something out from our office and let's get back to scene. But we're going to let doing. It's important to note that the Red Cross is on scene, as well as our Office of Emergency Management, to help all of these residents who have been affected, because it is not just the 3 or the 7 houses that have been that have the visible damage. There is a lot of damage for blocks back there. So we're going to let them get in here, assess the damage. Bomb and arson is going to do their job. We're of course going to work with Spire. They're on scene to see what those resolutions are and get you as much information as possible as soon as we can.
And again, how many agencies are involved in this? I see state troopers are here. I see.
We brought in a lot of people to assist us with the scene, traffic, to deal with traffic, to deal with the citizens trying to get to the scene. So they have all assisted us. Highway Patrol, Florissant, they were first on the scene. So yeah, we brought in a lot of agencies to help us with that.
Thank you, guys.
Should we, the
Thank you
bomb
so
and
much.
arson investigation, is there a general idea of when we can get a preliminary information, like today or in the coming days? Even that general?
We'll see what we can do.
Okay, thank you.
We'll see what we can do. Okay.
Thank you.
I am.
All right, everyone, the time now is 11:03, and if you are just tuning in, let's reset here and repeat some of the information that we just learned. So originally we were telling you some numbers that may not exactly be the latest information, and that is because we heard from Vera Slay, who is the acting supervisor of the St. Louis County Police Department. She is telling us that when this house exploded around 9:15 this morning, we know that Blackjack Fire and several other fire departments in the area responded. At least 3 homes were fully involved. Multiple homes received damage. We know that 3 people were treated for injuries, but there are now other reported injuries. Some people might be self-reporting, whether they had chest pains or shortness of breath. They're not saying the cause of this explosion either, but there is now very clearly widespread damage. Red Cross is on the scene. It is a very fluid situation, and everything is under investigation at this time. So again, we know that this was a 3-alarm response. This is a very fluid situation. As we can tell you right now, the Walmart as we know it is still evacuated, and a lot of people in the neighborhood are standing around because they want to know it's safe. Some people are telling us that they cannot get into the neighborhood as well. We are going to break from our on-air coverage. We will go live on streaming on 5+ and on KSDK.com.
What they call me?
Five on Your Side starts now with breaking news.
Good morning, everyone. The time now is 11:05, and we have been following some breaking news since about 9:15 this morning just outside of Florissant. Firefighters are telling us that a house exploded on Candlewick Club Drive. This is right next to St. Angela Merici. This is off Highway 67 in unincorporated North St. Louis County. Now, originally, this was a 3-alarm response, so a lot of fire departments came on the scene to help. We know that 3 homes were fully involved. That means that they were on fire when firefighters arrived. We do understand that there are several people hurt. At this point, we don't know what are the initial injuries and the secondary injuries. So that means when firefighters arrived, they did take some people to the hospital, and then now we're getting people who are also reporting injuries. They're self-reporting. Some have secondary injuries like chest pains, shortness of breath, things like that. I can tell you that we still do not know the cause of this explosion. It is very much an active scene, and it is under investigation. But here is a drone shot. This is our SkyLens 5 taking a look overhead of that initial house that exploded at 9:15. Now, we are hearing from a lot of people. A lot of you are texting in, or you are telling our reporters on the scene what this felt like. A lot of you are saying they heard a loud boom and then felt their entire house shake. Megan Kernan talked to a woman who said that when she heard that loud explosion, one woman said all of the pictures in her house fell off. Megan also talked to another woman who said she was in bed and her windows all blew out. They all shattered. There is also, we want to tell you, some flooding in a street in that neighborhood. We asked, you may have heard it if you've been watching our live stream, was it a water main break related to this house explosion? The authorities on the scene were unable to relate that as well. But if you are trying to travel in that neighborhood, not only are you dealing with potential road closures, authorities on the scene, but also a potential water main break as well. We heard from one man who said that he was at his home and he heard the loud explosion. He was brushing his teeth, and he said his words were that it knocked him to his core. So he got into his car. He went to Walmart because he knew that his niece worked at Walmart to check on her. We know that Walmart is completely evacuated right now. So when we were looking, here's an image there. You can see all of the employees in their blue jackets and their blue vests waiting to know if they can go back to work. We actually still have yet to hear if they are back inside. It does Yes, I was going to say we're able to look at some live pictures behind the scenes that we're not able to show you. It does kind of look like they might be back inside the building. But here you can see some of the video from the neighborhood, and what we're able to see is that just a large response when this explosion happened. When we are talking to our viewers and our text line, we're seeing people telling us that they felt this and shook their homes in U City, in Ladue, all over the area, not just in unincorporated North County. Now, initially, we were told that 4 people were hurt. We do know that at least 3 people were taken to the hospital. We did understand that one person may have had severe injuries, but just to clarify now, that is not confirmed by authorities. I think that there is a lot of chaos happening on the scene, so people are trying to figure out, okay, who is severely hurt, who's got secondary injuries, because now people are really starting to self-report. We do know that bomb and arson has been called in, but that is very typical of this kind of incident. We also have seen Spire crews on scene as well. Some witnesses said, hey, this may have sounded like a gas explosion. That is not confirmed, but we certainly know that we've seen people in Spire vests there on the scene working in response. We also know that Red Cross is on the scene to help people who might need help as well. And let's take an update real quick from the Walmart there. This is the Walmart just off of, Lindbergh. This is talking about the, Coldwater Creek area. Looks like everyone is now back inside, but I would say that most of the workers there were evacuated for more than an hour, probably almost close to an hour and a half, waiting for more information. This again is just a very fluid situation. Blackjack Fire Department told us that when they got on the scene, at least 5 homes were damaged. That number seems to be changing because people are now discovering some damage to their homes. It was a massive explosion around 9:15 this morning. So I think the big question is it safe for people to be there? Are they having a hard time getting on scene? Paul Cook has been keeping an eye on some of our traffic, and there is, an area of Lindbergh. Is it still slow there, Paul, or is it, are things moving again?
Very slow, Michelle. Very slow in the area. Of course, you have the Walmart Supercenter. That's where we have the red arrow. You have a lot of police nearby, and you can see the colors here. You can see the yellow. We have folks going 12 miles an hour, 24 miles an hour. Obviously, you want to avoid this spot of Lindbergh, which says 67, right? That is Lindbergh, and that is north of 270. I want to show you something here as an alternate route. So a lot of businesses here. So we've got a Walmart Supercenter. You've got Planet Fitness, tons of them, right? Chick-fil-A, maybe you're working in the area. Maybe you're watching on your phone or on 5+. The alternate routes here are going to be Howdershell to Shackelford. Howdershell to Shackelford is north. It's this little area you're seeing there. Interestingly enough, 2.1 miles away from this incident is the Spire headquarters to the north there. That's the North County one, just 2.5 miles to the north. So they would have been on the scene very quickly with Spire right there. It's really interesting in that we are so close to Coldwater Creek. We're so close to Spire. And, there's a lot of things we still don't know. But folks on Lindbergh are going to be stuck in traffic, or they're going to be asked to turn around. We've heard of both. You want to try the alternate routes, which are to the north. You could also take Patterson, which is nearby. But really, for the most part, avoid the area. If you need to get kind of down in there, you see the circle there? Shackelford to Old Halls Ferry, not New Halls Ferry. New Halls Ferry would take you right down into where this explosion is. So a lot of authorities. You're going to see a lot of flashing lights. And if you can, stay put unless you need to go anywhere, guys.
All right. Thanks so much, Paul. Okay, so just to reset here, it is 11:12, and this started about 2 hours ago. We are following this breaking news just outside of Florissant. This is unincorporated North County. Still a lot more questions than answers, but we do understand that firefighters say a house exploded on Candlewick Club Drive. This is right next to St. Angela Merici off of North Highway 67. Lots of people are reporting damage to their homes. It is still unclear how many. So we were getting numbers in initially, and since then that has been updated. So we do know that 3 people were immediately transported to a hospital, but that is all we know from there, because some people are now self-reporting injuries, potentially like chest pain, shortness of breath, things like that. And so there is a lot of uncertainty about the widespread damage. We do know, though, that it is widespread. So on top of that, a lot of people live in this area and they work in this area. The Walmart, we know, was closed for about a couple of hours. This is a look from a vantage point, and you can just see that black plume of smoke coming from that one house on Candlewick. And when we were able to look at a drone video from Skylens 5, we were able to see at least 2 homes that had direct impact and direct damage. And again, when officers arrived, they said that 3 homes were fully involved at that time. So again, not technically in Florissant, but very close to that area. Again, this is what we were just talking about. This is that video from Skylens 5 of the house that has exploded, and then you can see, and from that vantage point, at least 1 home that has been damaged as well. A lot more homes, even across the neighborhood, are now reporting some sort of damage, according to St. Louis County Police and Blackjack Fire. Now, we've heard from a lot of viewers out there who were saying, okay, there was this loud boom. Not only, I mean, it came from the Florissant area, but we are hearing from people in many neighborhoods across town who heard this loud boom and felt it shake their house. Let's get on out to Megan Kernan, who's been live in that neighborhood where the explosion happened, gathering information for us. Megan, I know you've talked to a lot of people. What is the latest where you are?
The Blackjack Fire Chief. So right now we're about to show you some drone video that our photographer is going over. So the update that we have right now, so we know that 5 homes, when firefighters arrived, 5 homes were caught on fire. So there was that 1 home that exploded, and then the 4 other homes that around this home that caught on fire. So right now you're going to see our drone video that is going up in the air. So we are pushed back in this area, and where I'm standing, I am in Florissant, but where this happened is in Blackjack. So we do know that 4 people were injured. And really, the fire chief, when I asked, do we know how many people have been injured in this explosion? And he said no. And we don't know the extent of their injuries. We don't know their ages of the people who were injured. But we do know that around the house that exploded, there were at least 4 other homes that caught on fire. Now, being out here on the scene, we know that a ton of other homes had damage. I'm actually looking at one of them right now. So we know that, you know, from this explosion, there have been other homes. There was 4 other homes that caught on fire, and multiple homes in this neighborhood that were damaged by this explosion. Now, again, we do not know the cause of this explosion. When we were talking to the Blackjack Fire Chief, he told us that they're working to get these updates. You know, the crews that are out here, they're trying to, you know, help as many people as they can. We know that Spire is on scene, Red Cross is on scene, and the Blackjack Fire Chief actually told us that he felt the explosion himself. So from where we are right now, the Blackjack Fire Chief, whenever we were asking him about it, he was like, yeah, I actually felt it myself. So, you know, this explosion is being felt by tons of people over this area and in this surrounding area. And again, I just want to say the area, the house that exploded, this is, that was in Blackjack, and where we're standing right now, we are actually in Florissant. So it's kind of, you know, this is a big subdivision, and it looks like this is a separate subdivision from where I'm standing right now, but just near here. And we do see some choppers in the air right now. We know that Spire is on the scene, but they haven't been able to confirm if this was a gas leak. They did not confirm if there was a water main break because of this, but we do know that 4 other homes, besides the one that caught on, exploded, 4 other homes were caught on fire. Michelle.
All right, thanks so much, Megan. You know, I don't know if I know Megan can't see from what we're seeing from this drone shot, but just on assessment, it looks like 3 structures potentially could be what we're looking at here. We see 2,
So if
burnout
you look all the way
homes.
over to the left side of the screen, and you see one house there where, some of the structure is still standing, but most of it has been burnt away. Right next to it, where you see like a white basement, and just everything just scattered all over the yard there. That appears to be a second home. And then closer to us here, another charred area that appears to be a third home. You can see cars in the back as well. Those cars completely destroyed from what we can see from this angle. You also see a set of stairs, it appears, going up to the home as well.
It looks like there are at least 4 cars that are burned in this image too. It is hard to kind of see, but it would go along with what Blackjack Fire said when Megan, was able to talk to them live on this stream. They said when they first got here on the scene, there were 3 houses that were fully involved. So they were fully engulfed, and that's kind of what that looks like as we look at this video from Skylines 5, a live look here.
And the other thing too about this, we know right now 4 people have been injured, but you look at the damage there, and that's amazing that it's just 4 people who were hurt, because you got to understand that if this explosion is an explosion, so things are being shot out, who knows where this is all going, and look at how close in proximity those homes are to each other. So it's possible that a lot more people could have been hurt in this situation, and I'm sure that once first responders are able to enter to these structures and go through the debris, we'll find out whether or not it is just 4 people.
Well, the Blackjack Fire Department and the St. Louis County Police Department said that more people are self-reporting at this time.
Okay.
So they're saying that some people have secondary injuries. They're saying maybe they have chest pains or maybe they are shortness of breath. They do believe that maybe more people are injured than initially reported. So even though the number is 4, at last check from authorities, they were saying, okay, we really don't know at this time.
You got to probably imagine a number of people probably, ran from the area as well, not knowing what was taking place. Now, I had left the station about a little more than an hour ago to go shoot a story, and on my way out, I started to see the reports of something had happened. Didn't know if it was an explosion, if it was what, but we do know that emergency crews are heading in that direction, and now we know somewhat of the extent of the damage. A number of homes have been exploded, damaged, destroyed. We know that 4 people have been injured to this point. And as you can see, emergency first responders remain on the scene. They still have the ladder up from the fire truck, still trying to probably contain whatever might be smoldering at this time.
And we do understand that the bomb and arson unit are on scene. This is a very typical response to a massive explosion such as this. We also know that Red Cross is there to help the neighborhood because, again, we are hearing that people might be discovering that they have damage at their house or that they might be having some sort of secondary injury as well. And as Megan said, she was standing, I believe, in Florissant, and the actual explosion may have happened in Blackjack. We've been saying unincorporated North County as well. So as you can imagine, it is, who's got the jurisdiction, who's responding. But this is a massive response. At one point, everyone who was in the area was responding.
Oh, without a doubt. And you mentioned something earlier that people were saying they felt this in Ladue. And that's quite a few miles away from the center of this particular explosion. So that should give you an idea of just how big this was, just how powerful this was. You're looking down now at first responders continuing their investigation. They've got a command post that appears to be set up underneath that red tent. They're having discussions right now. They're probably planning some type of way of going into what is left of the debris there and picking through it.
I just want to give you an idea of what some of our viewers are saying. Some people are saying they felt it in Richmond Heights, in Tanglewood, in Rock Hill. We're talking all across the region. Let's go again to Megan Kernan. She has been live in the neighborhood. And Megan, I know that you are trying to gather more information, but I understand that you're talking to neighbors and people out there. What are you learning right now?
Yeah, Michelle. So I am standing here with Tyreek Abernathy. So he actually heard the explosion. Tyreek, what did you hear?
I felt it. I heard it and I felt it. But I was just laying down in my bed, and as soon as I heard it and felt it, I got up and ran over there, and I seen one house that was already crumbled, and then the next two that was next to it, they both caught on fire. It took them a minute though after that one blew up. It took a minute for it to catch on fire, but yeah, they ended up catching up.
So you actually ran to the street that the house exploded on. What else? I mean, you saw other surrounding homes that caught on fire. What were you seeing? What was the feeling out there?
Yeah, it was just up in flames. I mean, really can't explain the feeling. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's hard to explain the feeling. It's just, I was just there. Like, that's all I can say. I mean.
Tyreek, did you see anybody that was hurt? Anybody?
Yeah. Somebody did get hurt. One of my friends, his cousin, he got hurt. He was kind of, you know what I'm saying, had kind of bad injuries, but he was still intact though. He's still talking or whatever. He's still talking. We just got off the phone with him. He in the hospital. He's still talking or whatever. He's kind of messed up right now.
Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine. Was he in the house? Which house was he in?
All of them was in the house. All of them was in the house. I'm not gonna say all of them, but for sure it was 2 people for sure in the house.
That you saw that were hurt?
Yeah.
And, when we're talking about the injuries, did it look like burns? I mean, I know there was...
Yeah, it was burnt. Yeah, his skin is burnt. He probably, I don't know the degrees or whatever, but I know it was a high degree. Like, I seen skin falling off and fingers, kind of, yeah, it's kind of messed up. But he all right, though. He gonna be all right.
Oh, my gosh. Well, we're praying for him. Now, can you show us, so you live in this home, right?
Yeah.
Joe, can we go over here? Because his home, can you kind of describe to us right over here, Tyreek? Your home was actually damaged, and this is your home? Yeah. All right, well, describe to us kind of what we're seeing. What kind of damage did you have to your house?
The windows got blew out. You can see the screen door right there. Both of the screens right there. Yeah, they messed up the front door. The screen got blew out. Yeah, everybody around here really, windows blown out and doors falling apart. So yeah, I'm glad everybody all right. No fatalities though.
Oh my goodness. You're good right here. I mean, and as soon as you heard and felt it, I mean, your home right here is damaged, as we can see. You actually ran out here. Is this a separate subdivision?
Oh, yeah. The street right here that you can get to by going down this driveway, all of these people came outside too, but I was the first one over there because, I mean, I just acted. I acted as soon as I heard it. I said, dang, what is that? I just knew it wasn't normal. I was just like, what's this? But,
I mean, how horrifying was it to see these people with these injuries, with these burns that you said that you saw?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was, if you say 1 through 10, it was about an 8 for sure, 9. Definitely an 8.
The extent of their injuries?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yep.
All right, thank you so much, Tyreek. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All right, Michelle and Rennie, as you heard, Tyreek he lives in this home and he heard the explosion. He felt it. His window shattered. And he actually ran to the house, to the street where the house exploded. He saw other houses that were on fire. He saw at least one person that we heard, one of his friends, his cousin's friend that was injured and had some burns. He saw at least another person. He said that this person that was injured, the man that's in the hospital now, he was inside the home. We don't know if that was the house that exploded. We don't know if that was the house that caught on fire next door, but we do know that his friend that is in the hospital, he said that he seems to be okay. He just talked to him on the phone, but he said he was badly burned.
Hey, Megan, real quick before you go, just to remind everyone, where exactly are you from that house? Just to give perspective of Tyreek's damage that he received from his house, because you can't really see the explosion from where you are, right?
Yeah, no, we absolutely cannot see from where we are. I would say we're about 3 blocks from the street, from the house that exploded. So, you know, we're kind of just out here in this other subdivision, you know, just pushed out here. But, you know, we're still working to learn more. I know the Blackjack fire chief, he also felt it. He felt the explosion from where he's at. So, and I do want to say, I don't know if we have mentioned this yet, but when we were talking to the fire chief, we do know that this house, the fire, it went to a 3-alarm fire. Sorry. So, you know, we're just learning more information. We know that it was, you know, this extensive fire. The house that exploded, we know that there were at least 4 other homes that caught on fire. But as you just saw, I mean, Tyreek's home is damaged, and you guys are seeing right now on your screen some drone video of the street. So besides the 5 homes that caught on fire, there were tons of homes that, you know, we don't know exactly how many, but just from, you know, our eyes, we've seen so many homes that have been damaged from this explosion. And again, I want to just mention the Blackjack fire chief. When I said, do we know, you know, the extent of these injuries? He said no. I said, do we know actually how many people were injured? He said no. You know, there were at least 3+ people that they took took on ambulance to take into the hospital. We just heard from Tyreek. He knows one of them, a man that was inside one of these homes that has been badly burned. He said that he could see some skin falling off whenever he felt the explosion. He ran out there to go check on his neighbors. And really, there's so many, I mean, you guys can't see right now, but there's so many neighbors out here just trying to figure out what's going on, make sure, you know, everybody's okay. But we haven't heard of any fatalities. We just know that there have been multiple people injured. We really don't know exactly how many, but, you know, just working to learn more information, and you can just really feel everybody's worried. I mean, the people, the neighbors that live here, they're just all worried. They're trying to, you know, figure out who was in these homes, who was injured, as we are as well. So we will keep you updated once we get more information, of course.
Megan, before we let you go, one more question from me. Right now, do you know if the scene is stable, or are they worried that something else might explode?
Been able to confirm if it was a gas leak. When I asked, you know, was there a water main break, because as I told you guys, some of the street was flooded. He said they haven't been able to confirm that either. But where we're at right now, it seems that they've gotten everything, you know, at least stable, under control, as far as, you know, we're not worried about anything else happening right here.
Thank you, Megan. Megan Kern reporting live from the scene there, unincorporated portion of St. Louis, as well as Florissant. But as we've heard, excuse me, some of what we saw, take it, because I gotta clear my throat. There we go. One of the things that you've been able to hear is that people have felt this from quite some distance away. We saw the house across the street, a distance from where the explosion was, missing windows, missing a door. So this was a pretty powerful incident.
It was pretty powerful. And, you know, again, if you're just joining us, it started around 9:15. This incident happened. Yeah, we are getting viewer reports from all over the city. Not the city, but the region,
just
really.
Throughout the county, yeah.
Throughout the county, that have had some sort of, who heard the boom and also felt it in their house as well. And Megan has been talking to people who had damage, and she said that the man she just talked to, Tyreek Abernathy, said that he was about 3 blocks away from that house explosion, and you saw the windows being blown out of his house.
Yeah.
So
you also understand how tight of a neighborhood it is. That happens quite a distance from where he was, yet he got out of his home, ran down to find out what's going on, and said, you know, one of his friends was involved. Now, we also have a number of people on scene right now covering this, but one of our assignment desk editors was actually at home at the time, talked to some of his family. They also saw and felt what was going on. Right now, let's get over to Diamond Palmer, who has more on that angle. Diamond?
Well, Renee and Michelle, we know that Reggie Lockhart, of course, works here, and so he's very familiar with the response from police and fire when it comes to this mass, large-scale sort of incident like this. He says there was over hundreds of people there on the scene that, again, like Megan said, were worried, were confused as to how this could all happen. He says he saw even one person taken by an ambulance and saw lots of water. Firefighters, of course, working to get that fire under control just to make sure the scene was even safe. He's a resident not too far there in North County and is very familiar with the area. Even he had to go park on Lindbergh and then walk, of course, several blocks to be able to get to that scene. We wanted to see what his reaction was like, being, of course, familiar with this sort of thing, responding to these incidents. So this is what he had to say.
And you can see a pillar of smoke rising up from behind some of the homes that are in the neighborhood. The actual neighborhood looks like it could be townhomes possibly here in Candlewick Drive. And there's a lot of the community standing outside trying to figure out what happened, asking questions, and, you know, a lot of water being poured on the fire that's running all the way down the street as well.
Again, you can really hear just how many people are impacted by this and, of course, are still worried by this. And, of course, that will continue throughout the rest of the day. Michelle and Renee, I want to send things back to you.
All right. Thank you, Diamond.
All right, let's get a live look now from Mercedes McKay. You know, as you can tell, we've got crews all across the scene. We were able to see from that vantage point that red tent. And Mercedes, where are you exactly and what are you seeing?
Rennie and Michelle, hey, we just got to where we are right now minutes ago. I'm just going to step aside so you can see fire crews still actively working on this scene here. This is the best vantage point that we've been able to see of this home explosion. You can see pieces of that home all over the ground. So many fire crews out here, a lot of Spire crews as well. And then you see the homes past it there that felt that explosion that are also devastated from that. I actually spoke to a woman about 15 minutes ago. Her sister was in one of those homes that was hit by that explosion. She said she actually felt the explosion over in Delwood. Then she got a call from her sister, hysterically crying, obviously, because her roof was caving in. Thankfully, her sister is okay. Her niece was also there, and you know what the woman told me was, you know, they can replace things. They're just happy that her sister is alive here. Her sister was shaken up. I asked her if she wanted to talk, and she said she was too shaken up, so her sister spoke for her. So we have just already been able to see these people and hear from him who have experienced this devastation here. And you guys, even driving from the station, we had about a 30-minute drive, but it probably took us closer to 50 minutes to get to this spot just because Lindbergh is shut down for a few miles, and just the amount of emergency crews we even saw trying to get this way. I mean, the disaster recovery response here has been pretty remarkable with all these crews responding. We do know that Blackjack, this is in their district, so they are the main crews responding to this, and I heard that in about 20 minutes or so, we'll be hearing from the chief, or we'll get a better idea. When I asked the sister of one of the people here who her sister's home was hit from this explosion, she said they don't really know what happened, and right now there are obviously so many more questions than answers at this point. I also spoke to a few other people a couple miles away who were just outside their homes, and one woman actually told me that she felt like a car hit her own home from this explosion, and that was someone miles away from this. So just Rennie, Michelle, showing the sheer impact of this explosion. It's very devastating to see just the amount of people. But again, I want to thank the emergency crews, because I have never seen this many emergency crews on a scene before, and I've been doing this job for a pretty long time. But as you can see, there's a lot of work to be done. But I'm going to send it back to you guys since we have to get over to that presser, and hopefully we know more information about what really caused this home explosion.
All right, thank you, Mercedes. Mercedes McKay reporting live from the scene. She's basically right across the street from where the house has exploded. And if you look behind her, you can notice that that's almost half a block worth of homes now missing.
Right, right. And, you know, again, a lot of it is fluid. I want to give you an update from Spire, because Spire is now telling us, okay, they got the information around 9:30 this morning. They have turned off gas to all of the homes in that neighborhood, as you can imagine. They also are telling us that they have found no issues within Spire's gas-related infrastructure. So at least no gas being, you know, no gas on.
No leaks at this time. So you can see that the scene remains very active at this time. While you do see a number of people just standing and talking and observing, they do still have the water on the one home there, trying to put out whatever may or may not be on fire. I do not see any flames, and you really don't see any smoke, but you do see a great deal of twisted metal as well as charred pieces of wood or whatever's left of that house. There's another fire truck on this side over here also spraying water to basically control not just whatever fire might be burning underneath, but also control whatever dust and particles and things like that that might be uplifted through the air as well. Once again, we're going to try to recap what's going on here. So about 9:15 this morning, we got word of an explosion in that area there. This is unincorporated St. Louis, near Florissant, near Blackjack. It's one of these areas that kind of encompasses quite a few different places. Depends on which side of the street that you live on. We know that this was an explosion that was felt miles and miles away. We've got reports of people as far away as Ladue speaking about how they felt the explosion, heard the explosion. This is one of the vantage points here, and obviously this is quite a distance away, a few homes away, and you can see the black smoke rising up in the background. We've got a number of reporters on scene, and they all have pretty much described the same thing from the eyewitnesses that they spoke to, that they heard a loud boom, they felt the shake, and then everybody kind of went outside to see what was going on, and this is what they discovered. We do know that 4 people to this point have been injured. We spoke with one eyewitness who ran out, saw one of his friends who was badly burned at the time. So far, we've had no reports of any fatalities, and we don't know the exact extent of the injuries that have been reported to this point. We're going to stay on top of that. Mercedes says she was leaving to go to a live news conference with, I believe, the fire chief at the time to give us an idea of where they are in this investigation. But judging by what we see, this is probably going to be quite some time before they figure out exactly what happened here.
Right, and it is a very fluid situation. As you can see, you see ATF on the scene. We know that bomb and fire are investigating, and there we can see the flames still on scene at that one house. So again, when firefighters arrived at 9:15, at least 5 structures were on fire at the time. This was a massive response from fire crews all across the county. 3 people were immediately taken to the hospital. There are now people who are reporting secondary injuries, and what that means is things that maybe, you know, people are having shortness of breath. They're having, discovering also that there are parts of their homes that are damaged. We've talked to a lot of people who said, okay, we heard the boom, then we felt it, and it shook us to our core. That is what one witness said. Megan Kernan, for example, talked to a couple of women. One woman said she was in bed and all of the windows blew out of her home. We saw it for ourselves from a house that was 3 blocks away where the windows were blown out as well. So a lot of people are discovering damage, and that is also why the Red Cross is there. But you can still see not only smoke, but we just saw flames still on the scene there as well.
So the flames that you just saw, we were talking 2.5 hours ago that the explosion was first reported, and word went out that they was going to have an emergency response to this, and yet you still see flames at this time. We were told from Megan Kernan that this was a 3-alarm fire, so you had, as Michelle was saying, first responders coming from all different directions, able to get together and start working on putting this fire out. Once again, we're going back to the shot here where you can see a portion of that house still burning while the water comes down in the foreground. I said it before, I'll say it again. It is going to be quite some time before they fully grasp what has taken place here in this area. We do know that when people heard the explosion, there was questions whether or not it was a gas explosion. Was there a gas leak, anything like that? So far, Spire says that does not appear to be the case, but their investigation continues on.
Well, they're just saying that there was nothing wrong with the infrastructure. So that is what they said, and they've turned off the gas since then.
Yeah.
But as you can see, we were looking, we no longer have our Skylance 5 shot, but when we were looking at it, I counted at least 4 cars that were burned, that were charred, I mean.
And the houses. And so,
of course, the houses.
If we go back at that house there, I think that was the 3rd house, the first of the 3 that we think we counted, coming back this way, coming back towards the corner, back towards the red tent. The tent right here, which appears to be some type of command center maybe, where they're meeting and discussing what's going on. The house there, you can see some remains of it that they are putting the water on, but the house right next to it, there is nothing there. You look straight down into the basement. The house next to that is pretty much the same way. This is a very devastating situation where you look at it and go, what all happened here? So much was damaged. And to say that only 4 people have been injured is kind of a miracle when you think about it.
Right, we haven't reported anything worse. Certainly when we look at the damage, it is pretty massive. So we do have a look from Skylens 5. This is early on the scene, and so we were really focused on this one house. But now, as we've been able to, progress and learn more throughout the morning, we've seen more structures, or what appears to be more structures that are burned just to the right of that house.
Yeah.
But, again, we've been saying it, and it really is true. It is a fluid situation. I mean, just look at the live shots. You see dozens of people on scene trying to make sure that this area is secure and safe, trying to figure out who's been transported to the hospital, who might have secondary injuries, who might be sustaining damage, where's the Red Cross helping. All of these things are coming into play as we are now more than 2.5 hours into this event.
We have been dealing with a lot way back to May 16th, and our first responders really have been putting in a lot of work throughout our area. So we want to give them a round of applause for the work they've been putting in. We see a member of the ATF there, judging by the t-shirt that is on scene. We know that the bomb and arson squad are now investigating to see if, what this is and help with the determination of it. The fire department remains on scene, continue to try to put the fire out. We have seen flames, and once again, this was 2.5 hours ago, and yet things still are burning at this time. So it is very intense. Even though the people you see who are there seem to be calm, no one seems to be in a panic, that's probably a great sign because it gives you the indication that things appear to be under control. I asked Megan earlier if she thought that the situation was stable. She felt that yes, it was, that no one has told them to clear the area, nothing along those lines. So right now it's a matter of putting the fires out and then continuing the investigation from inside of the wreckage, inside of the debris and the damage there. And also to make sure that it's only 4 people who have been injured in the immediate area of the explosion.
And again, this is a live look here. We were able to see flames just a few minutes ago, trying to get some new information as we head into our our noon show and trying to figure out what exactly is the latest. We do know that there is another news conference happening just at, what is the church? The church, St. Angela, oh my goodness, I'm blanking out. But Maurice, yes, St. Angela Maurice. So that is right off of New Halls Ferry and Lindbergh, that area there. But we have Mercedes McKay on the scene. We also have Megan Kernan on the scene.
And I saw Reggie there, Reggie, our assignment editor. I saw him on the scene too. So
they're all different vantage points to try to get new information because we are, as you can see, this is just a massive event scene that so many people are a part of. But we've heard from people who said, okay, I ran, we talked to that one gentleman, Tariq Abernathy, who said he ran outside of his home after not only his house shook, but his windows went out and saw people burned. Saw actual people burned.
His descriptions were hard. His description is very hard, but it's very raw, and that's the immediacy of what took place. And he just basically described to us what he was seeing. His friend was injured, and you could tell by just his reaction that he too is a little, I want to say in shock, but sort of taken aback, like, I don't know exactly what's going on here, but there seems to be a lot going on here. We were trying to give you an idea of where this is. Do we have the map? Can we go back to the map one more time?
Paul's been watching it too. I mean, this is like New Halls Ferry and Lindbergh, so this is an unincorporated part of North County. We are seeing blackjack, fluorescent, and members of the county responding here.
So I'm told that this is near a Walmart off of Lindbergh by Coldwater Creek. So as we've been saying, it isn't necessarily in Florissant itself, but within that area. A loud boom was heard around 9:15 this morning. Shook the entire area. People, as you saw, we heard from one witness there, immediately responded by running out of their houses and seeing what was going on out there. It has been so long, and yet the scene remains very active at this time.
You know, we've been talking about the traffic
Yeah.
in that area because we were saying that some people were not able to
Yeah.
get inside the community, and I can hear. Oh, Mercedes is back live. She can hear us. Mercedes, can people get into
Yes.
that neighborhood?
So, Michelle, from what we can see, no. I mean, it took us so long to even get out there. Most of the neighborhood is blocked off. The only way we were actually able to get to where we are right now is because of Reggie, our assignment desk manager who lives in this area. We're kind of in a backwooded part to even get to our vantage point. But right now, from what I can see, both ends of the neighborhood, from what I can see, and I'm walking around kind of as much as I can right now, is blocked off. I mean, there's fire trucks all up and down this road. There are people in this neighborhood who are just kind of standing outside their homes, obviously. They're in here, but this is definitely taken over by the fire department and all these emergency crews. So still, as you guys have been saying, very, very active. And I've also just been told by Blackjack that their chief is heading over to where our Justino Cornell is at that church. So we're hoping here in the next 15 to 20 minutes, we'll have more information about what exactly is happening here. But I heard you say it earlier, Rennie, and I just kind of want to reiterate it. The amount of emergency crews here and the people that are just in control of this is pretty incredible. We say it all the time how grateful we are for them, but this scene, as hectic as it looks, is very calm with the amount of emergency crews that are here. So it is actually pretty amazing to see this response because, again, just even trying to get to this location was so hard. So this is going to be a long road ahead. And, you know, just from my vantage point right now, I know y'all can see it as well, but there's so much debris all over the road. When we were actually walking into the neighborhood, a Spire official told us to watch out for nails because there's nails all over the ground. So it just shows kind of the catastrophe that we are seeing here today. So very sad, a lot of work to be done here, but these crews, I just want to say, are doing an incredible job. And again, we're hoping to hear from the Blackjack chief here in the next 15 to 20 minutes about what actually led to this explosion.
I can't imagine the amount of debris that went into the air. You know, if you're thinking about nails on the ground, there's a massive explosion with 5 houses at least, you know, with some damage.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of what it looked like after the tornado, where things were just everywhere that were so out of place because they weren't supposed to be there, but because of the explosion from the tornado, things were scattered, and that seems to be the same case here. We are going to continue to stay on top of what is happening here. We're going to bring you the very latest at noon. We're going to have our live reporters there as well, so we will continue to update this, not just here on air, but also on the 5+ streaming app, as well as KSDK.com. We're going to go back to programming now, and Michelle will be back with you in just about 10 minutes live for Today in St. Louis, our noon show at noon.